The first chart, stock to flow. Bitcoin closed this month at $71,000, and that's 10K up from last month, a new all-time high. And that's quite interesting because it's before the halving. So we have an all-time high before the halving. It's the first. So basically we have a triple top as well. First top, early 2021. Second top, a higher all-time high in October 21. And now, just before the halving, a new top, a triple top. So that's really the first time that ever happened. What we also see is that Bitcoin value is roughly at the stock flow model line, that gray line. And that's always the case. So that was the case in the 2020 halving. That was the case here where blue switches to red. That's the halving. When this gray model line jumps 8 to 10x, that's the halving, 2016. And here again in 2012. So it's always that Bitcoin is at the model line just before the halving. And this time also like clockwork. There's one more blue dot to come. The color is months until the next halving. So one more blue dot till month 0. That's April, the halving month. The May month will be the first red dot. And from there, red dots is here. We count down 48 months, or actually it's 46 months, until the next halving in 28. So the flipping from blue to red will be in May. And so the big question is, what's next? Well, I think it's inevitable that we reach 100K this year in 2024. And probably a lot higher than just that 100K. 100K, we're very close to that level now. And well, if the bull market is anything like we had seen in history, then we will have a steep increase in price from here.
비트코인 온체인 분석가 플랜비는 올해 2024년 비트코인의 10만 달러 돌파는 당연할 것이며 그 근거에 대해서 제시하고 있는데요. 다만 비트코인이 4월이나 5월 하루아침에 그렇게 오른다는 것이 아니라 앞으로 몇 개월에 걸쳐서 어떻게든 10만 달러에 도달할 것인데 그것은 올해인 2024년 안에 이루어질 것이며 10만 달러 돌파를 성공한 뒤로부터는 50만 달러 이상까지 올라갈 것이라고 주장하고 있습니다. 그는 구체적으로 스탁 투 플로우 지표와 시장 사이클 RSI를 통해 매우 논리적인 근거를 제시하고 있는데요. 플랜비의 주장을 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 저희 채널에서는 코인 소통방을 무료로 운영 중이며 이렇게 유망한 알트코인과 다양한 경제 지표, 국내외 정세들을 실시간으로 교류하고 있는데요. 영상 하단 더보기란과 댓글창을 클릭하시면 무료 입장 가능한 링크와 구독자 전용 전화번호를 게시해 두었으니 입장을 희망하시는 분은 들어오셔서 투자 정보 얻어가시면 되겠습니다.
100K this year. Note that this stock to flow model line jumps in April to roughly 500,000, which is the average price level in this halving period. It doesn't mean that the price will jump overnight in May or April to this 500K. It usually takes a couple of months. And here too, you see the red dots. It takes a couple of months, almost a year to reach that model line. And that's what I think will happen this time around too. So the next top will not be in this year 2024 but in next year 2025. And in fact, from a stock to flow perspective, we need a top that's much higher than the average 500K. So let's say 6, 7, maybe 100K or a million to reach that average of 500K. So the top will be higher than 500K in 2025. Next chart is market cycles, and we see the second red dot. Color here is the market stage. Accumulation is blue. Red is the bull market. We're in red right now, and this is the second red dot. From here, I think the red dots will continue like they did last time, and in this bull market and the 2013 bull market, it will continue for a year, so 12 red dots. And there will be volatility too. I mean, that's very important. It won't be straight up and no dips. There will be multiple minus 20 or 30% dips. That's very normal. Yeah, the best thing to do is not to panic at those dips. But personally, I will do nothing for the next 12 months. And I will reassess when the market phase switches from bull market to distribution yellow. And until yellow, I don't do anything. Next chart. RSI. RSI is a technical indicator. It shows you when a stock or a currency, or in this case Bitcoin, is overbought. And then the relative strength indicator is high, or when it's oversold in the bear markets, when the RSI is relatively low. And we're at 77 right now. And that's the highest level ever before a halving. And that's very interesting, because what we've seen so far is the halvings. That's when blue turns to red. It was here and here and here in 2020. The RSI just before the halving was getting lower, from 70 to 65 to 55, and that's in line with diminishing returns. So the fact that we're now at 77, which is the highest level ever, could mean that this is a first indication that the diminishing returns will not be there in an exponential return growth path, and which would be in line with the stock-to-flow model. So very interesting what this month, the halving month, April, will do, and what next month, the first month after the halving, will do. So the switch from blue to red, at what RSI level that will be. If that's higher than last three halvings, that's very interesting. And as I said, it might be an indicator of not having diminishing returns this time. Another technical indicator is, of course, the 200-week moving average. That's the black line. The black line 200-week moving average is 33,000 right now and rising. And that 33,000 can be seen as a floor. In a bear market, it can breach that floor, but in a bull market, around the halvings, that 200-week moving average is a real floor, and Bitcoin price will diverge from that 200-week moving average. But at least you can tell that Bitcoin will crash to 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. That's not going to happen. So better to look at on-chain indicators in the bull market, I think. And one of the most well-known is the realized price. Realized price, the black line, at the moment is 29,000, and it's rising fast. And that's always the case in bull markets. So in bear markets, it levels out, it flattens, but the realized price is really rising faster and faster in bull markets. And that's what we see right now, or at least the beginning of that. That's very confirmation of a bull market. I think it's better to look at the 2-year realized price. Why? Because that does not include the 1 million Satoshi coins, the first 1 million coins that are in the realized price against a price of 0, and that's dragging that realized price down. So 2-year realized price is, in my opinion, a better indicator, and that's at 44,000, and I think that's a conservative floor in bull markets. See, the dark blue line here in a bull market, Bitcoin price in red never goes below the 2-year realized price. Same here, the red dots are always above the 2-year realized price. So 44,000 is really, I think, the conservative floor. And if we take a little bit more risk, we look at the 5-month realized price. That's the short-term holder price. And it's at 60,000 right now. 60,000 would be the aggressive floor. Because if we look at previous bull markets, then you see that the red dots, the Bitcoin price, don't go below that 5 months realized price. And here too, in this, you see the little dips, but the floor is the 5-month realized price. And that's at 60,000 right now. So that's aggressive floor that I think we will not go below again. Next indicator is realized return. Realized return is what sellers make when they sell, and the sellers in March made more than 60%, and that means it's red, more than 60%, just like the February sellers, and that's a confirmation of a bull market. So selling at 60% or more return, that's really bull market territory. I watch this very closely, because when that switches to blue or even green, that might be an indication that the bull market is over, or that we might be mid bull market. And then we have to look at other indicators to confirm or deny that. For now, all looks good. And of course, the same is true if we look at Bitcoin in profit. That's 100% at all-time high levels. Everybody's in profit, and that will continue for a couple of months if history is any guide.